Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me again for another episode of The Next Chapter with Tiffany. This is episode 2 of my two-part series that recorded with the girls' dad, Chuck. And I have to tell you that I really enjoyed being able to just sit and chat with him for the hour and a half that we did. And it's so funny to go back and edit our recording because when you say things in a conversation that are unscripted and off the cuff, you forget what you talk about sometimes. And it's really cool to go back and remember those moments. And I just have to tell you that I'm just so filled with gratitude about how he and I have worked through so many things over the years and have been able to put anything aside that we may ever have had in regards to what could possibly go wrong in a divorced couple when you're raising kids separately and divorces and remarriage and moves and all of that. And I am so incredibly grateful that we've been able to work through anything and put our kids first and now our grandbaby and our extended family. And it's just been such a blessing and the wonderful moments that we've gotten to share where our kids didn't have to choose between spending time with mom or spending time with dad. We could actually spend that time, which it's holiday time, vacation time, whatever it was, and do that together. If more people could do that, I mean, just imagine how much better off the world would be. And I really hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I did recording it. And again, I'm just so grateful to Chuck, and I'm so proud of the girls that we've raised and that we get to enjoy them and their guys and their future families, and of course, our grandbaby. And I want to give an extra shout out to John, too, for being a part of this because, we all truly care about each other and really, truly enjoy each other's company. So, it's not very often I'm sure that you can talk to somebody and say, that's my girls' dad, that's my ex-husband, but he's also part of my family and I truly care about this person. So thank you guys for being a part of it. And don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. And also you'll find just the actual recordings of the podcast on Spotify, on Amazon, on Apple, and there's multiple other avenues that you can choose to listen. So anyway, thanks again, and I hope you enjoy it.
I wouldn't change a thing we've gone through for the relationship that I have with my adult daughters today. And you're part of that. We do things together and there's never a rift, there's never an issue, and I love that. But yeah, having them here just by themselves with me, I can't put it in words. It was just precious. It was awesome. And I enjoyed every minute of both of them being here.
Yeah.
I mean, Riley's just an amazing young woman, and she's adapting to motherhood. Like, uh, she blows my mind. I
Yeah,
mean, just
she's an amazing mama.
the things she does
Yeah.
for that boy, and make sure
Which
that,
which which boy?
well, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
love you, Casey. Love
yeah.
you.
Casey,
Love you.
we
Love
love you,
you.
but yeah, she does have two little boys sometimes for sure. But I mean, just learning the best quality ways to feed him,
Oh
and
man.
keeping him away from the vaccinations, and
Yeah.
he's
Yep.
she's a total mama bear, and I love it.
Fierce.
And
Fierce.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
In
Yeah.
fact, one day we were talking about her, just general conversation. We were all there, and none of us were telling her what to do, but we just said something about weaning him or whatever,
Oh right.
and he snapped like, "Don't tell me!" And we're like, "Whoa, whoa,
Oh
whoa!
yeah.
What he's trying
Oh
to tell
yeah.
you?"
Yep. Yep. She is fierce in her beliefs, and which is so funny to me because at the same time she's not going to be like me and just come at you and say exactly what's what, in a like a one-on-one conversation, like, do this or don't do that, or I said no, and have like big old in your face boundaries. But when it comes to him, it's a whole different deal.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to see that, where sometimes in the past, raising her, as you know, you'd be like, talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me. And that you'd get the tiny mouth, her little tiny mouth, and she would shut down. Where now it's like, no, Mama Bear, I will say and do, and I will fight. And so that's just this whole different side of her that
Yeah.
is so fun to see. And she
Yeah.
is just the best mama. That little guy is so blessed to
Oh
have,
man.
I mean, and it is goofy, funny daddy, obviously. He's always going to have the best hunting partner and the guy that's going to take him out and go and do and always provide and teach.
Yeah.
He's such a love, though. I absolutely love that kid. And
He's got a
uh
huge heart.
oh, huge
That
heart.
makes up
Yeah.
for a lot of his goofiness.
I know, right? He is. He's probably one of the funniest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
Seriously. And
Yeah.
one of the first time I think that we had the kids up to Wild Horse, well, not maybe it was probably the first time for him that he'd been up there. He's walking around, and all of a sudden you hear, I mean, John's clear out at the shop or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
All of a
I
sudden
know
you
where
hear,
this is going.
John, John, John. And I'm going, the hell is that? And it's Casey, John, just
Yeah.
walking around trying to, call John. And that's been a thing ever since. It's
Oh,
so
ever
freaking,
since. I think you can't say John's name without saying it like that, I don't think.
I know it is so funny. But yeah, she's a great mama. And you know what's, seeing Sid with Silas makes me remember how much in love with my nephews and nieces that I was before I had kids. I mean, I was just madly in love with them. And mom and dad, not to go off the rails, but mom and dad had the older kids a
Yeah.
lot, because there was, people just weren't doing what they were supposed to do. So mom and dad were like, boom, I'll take them, I'll take them, I'll take them. And of course, I was the youngest and still here, and I was all about the babies and the fun. And even when I went up to McCall, and I lived up there, 90, 91, 92, 93, right in there, I would have my nieces and nephews come stay with me. I remember taking the two oldest boys and fish and caught, I mean, some gorgeous fish along the river right outside of McCall, just adventure and fun.
Yeah.
And so when it was time to be a mom myself, I was so ready. And so Sid is going to just roll right into that, because she's such an attentive, baby loving
Oh man.
auntie, and she's like a surrogate aunt to multiple babies and kids,
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
her coworkers and stuff. So it's just going to be such a just a fluid motion for her, and she'll roll right into it. And she's learned so much, about, I mean, like with you, their thing with you is cooking, right? Food, cooking, all of that. And so both of them have such great talent in the kitchen, and which has, like you mentioned, how healthy Silas is and how much he eats such good food, wild game, raw, good,
Mhm.
wholesome, organic, good stuff. And Sid will be the same. And a lot
Yeah.
of that, I attribute to you, because you guys have always been in the food thing. And I mean, where did that come from for you? Because I remember you loved to cook back in the day.
Yeah, I always enjoyed cooking. I just obviously broadened my palate and kind of learned more as we went along. But the clean eating, the organic, all that stuff started when I was living in Baker City and I was traveling all the time back to eastern Idaho and Wyoming and back there working that auction. I At night I'd have time, so I'd read, and this Kevin Trudeau
Mm,
came out with a
mm.
book called The Things They Don't Want You to Know About, and then another one that was like More Things They Don't Want You to Know About. But he was one of the insiders in the industry, and he's the one that talked about all the pesticides and how
Isn't
they
that
barcode
interesting?
and yeah, teaching about how they mark food to know what's organic, what's not. And
He was
so
ahead of his time.
way ahead, yeah.
Yeah.
and that's why he had to leave the United
They
States. They
they
oh they
blacklisted him,
oh
right?
for sure. But
Jeez.
the first thing I ever bought was there was a Fred Meyer in Pocatello making my trip home, and I stopped and they had organic Fuji apples. I'm like, oh,
Mm,
we'll try these. It was the best apple I ever ate in my life. It was so good. And then
yeah.
I shared it with Angie and her kids, and then the girls, and then it just kind of went from there. And the more I learned, the more I told them, and it got to a point we'd start to eat, and I'd start talking, and they'd be just like, "Oh, Mom, can we just
Remember
eat,
that.
please?" But now when they talk about trying to eat clean and do these things,
Yeah.
they say, well, yeah, but you kind of, and I'm like, well, I'm glad you actually listened, but yeah, I
Yeah,
know
right.
I overdid it for a while for sure.
Yeah, but
So,
it's imprinted on them, obviously, and now it's
well,
just it's. I mean, we all have that now, meaning all of us within this circle, because it's important. You think about the effects on your body and what it can do for our children to be able to have babies. I mean,
well,
it's like a huge
yeah,
thing that we all need to be paying attention to,
yeah,
and now knowing the things that we gave the girls, but especially Riley, it was like apple juice, she loved apple juice, and all this stuff, it's like shit.
yeah,
And then the vaccines that they did get were nothing like they expect now, but even
yeah,
then, our kids were vaccinated, and
yeah. We
it's
didn't
just
know
the
any better.
shit. No, we didn't know any better, but then
No,
things started to get added into it, and things started taking a really nefarious turn when it came to, wait, you're putting what and why do they need that? And so, yeah, it's scary to think about
yeah,
how, I even think about with Sid, with her girl issues that she's had for years, if that's not part of what vaccines that she got. And I mean, it just kills me, but there's nothing I can do about it now. And the good thing is, according to what her health practitioners are saying, that she is okay, and that there's not, hopefully not going to be any issues when it comes to time to have a baby. So
yeah.
I just pray that that's not an issue. But God, it just kind of kicks your ass as a parent, going, wait,
Well, and that's why 90% of the stuff I research and study, supplements and foods and all this other stuff, it's because I've always been thinking about what's back to what's best for them.
yeah,
Because, we obviously were brought up with, we were right in the middle of the hydrogenated fats and don't eat animal fats and don't eat butter and don't eat dairy and
yeah.
don't eat red meat. And now they just flip the food pyramid to what it should be,
I
where
saw that.
good protein,
Yay,
good fat,
RFK.
good dairy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
you've been lying to us all these years, poisoning us, making us fatter and sicker, and then putting more crap in the drugs to, it's just this
get us
nasty.
addicted.
It's
It's
just,
terrible.
yeah, keep you sick. So you got to buy drugs and you keep eating crappy food so you stay sick. And
Yeah,
so, yeah,
it's
anyway,
awful.
it's becoming more mainstream, people becoming more knowledgeable and changing their habits and styles,
Yeah.
instead of it being such a fringe thing, like even in the late 2000s or whenever that was, I was started reading that stuff. That was like all hush hush and nobody.
Oh, yeah.
Well, way back when when Riley was a baby, and you'd buy organic milk. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? That shit's like twice as much as the other milk. We don't need that. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Right,
And that
right.
was just my ignorance. But you were ahead of your time at
I
that time.
I know.
Organic sounds
I
better. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't even, yeah, I don't even know how I got exposed to that. Just, I guess, just curiosity more than anything, and thinking, okay, yeah, because all the crap that's in the milk and how they
yeah,
deplete it of any nutrients, and then they say, they have to add things back in. What do they call that when they fortified or whatever? It's
oh,
like,
oh
oh,
yeah,
meaning they bring stuff in because they had
fortified.
already
Yeah,
taken.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, with DHA or whatever, and you're like, wait, they take all that shit out and then you have to put it back in?
Took
Oh,
all the good stuff out. Now we're putting
yeah.
man-made synthetic stuff back in.
Right.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
right. I know. It's crazy, but the thing I love that you guys have in common, you and the girls, is that the food thing, the healthy thing, And I'm on that bandwagon now more than ever myself, and it's nice, so when we get together and we do things as a family, whether it's the holidays or go on a vacation, we went to the Oregon coast, things like that, then the food is still a thing, it's
Mhm.
not let's go out and pig out. Yes, we'll go eat, we'll go have some fish and chips, and we'll go have chowder, and but it's like, wait, let's buy good stuff and let's come back and cook, because it
Mhm.
seems food seems to kind of be a central thing when it
Sure.
comes to our gatherings, whether we do
Sure.
go out for Thai food or for pho, whatever the pho it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, or whatever.
Well,
It's usually based
breaking bread.
around decent food. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
breaking bread. That's when people. That's a common thing. We all eat. So if you sit down and you enjoy a meal together, you can, as a family, you can just talk and enjoy yourselves. I mean,
Right.
that's what it
Yeah.
should be about. So, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
Riley used to help me prep a lot of stuff when I would cook, and now I'm kind of her sous chef when I go over there, and I
Yeah.
love it. It's
She's
like, what can I
she's
do, honey?
so
What do you want me to do? And sometimes she's
yeah.
like, well, I was thinking about doing this. What do you think? Like
Yeah.
still wants my opinion or whatever, but
I love
yeah,
it. Yeah,
it's
see,
it's it's
watching you
fun.
guys when we do holidays, we've done the last 2 years where we have it catered to a point. I
Hmm.
mean, the majority of the food's catered, and
Hmm.
and then you just finish it off or prep it or whatever at the house, and you guys do most of the work. I come in, I make my fudge or help out on the sideline or whatever, but it's like watching you guys with your kitchen magic that you guys do is really cool. I love that. I love it.
Oh,
I
good.
do. And I just
That's
sit
good.
back and I'm like, okay, I feel like useless, but um I'm not going to interrupt that thing that you guys got going on. So it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
like now that the girls have been back here for several years each, and you guys have your Sunday thing, that you've been doing for a long, long time. Every now and then I can kind of, in, interject myself, whether it's like we went to church last Sunday
Yeah.
and then went to eat, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
Um, but I never wanted interfere with your Sunday time, and that was kind of hard for me a little bit, because when I was around, and then you guys would say, "Oh, we went here and we did this and we went to eat here," and I'm like, "Oh, I miss out on stuff sometimes,"
Yeah.
whether I was in Nevada still and at Wild Horse, or here but not able to see anybody for a while. And it's hard. My
Yeah.
intention being back here was, since I do have Fridays, 3 Fridays off a month at my job, was to help with Silas on Fridays. But then you go, well, shit, that's the only day I have to get anything done, to
Yeah.
go run errands and to go here and to go there. So that hasn't came, to fruition like I was hoping it would. I can every now and then, but it's just like with this schedule, I think, well, crap, I got other stuff I have to do, and that
Yeah.
sucks. So I appreciate that you guys let me come into your Sunday thing every now and then, because that might be the
Well,
only time I get to see everybody,
yeah. But that's always kind of been my one day for sure off. So that's what we
Yeah,
kind of started doing. But it's a family day. We get together, we make something to eat, we hang out, and so John, you guys are family. So when you
yeah.
guys are
Thank
here,
you,
you're always welcome to be part of that. I mean, that's
thank
just
you.
it, yeah. There's no exclusions. Sometimes the girls will do stuff with you, sometimes they'll do stuff with me, but
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
stuff together is absolutely great. There's no
yeah.
no problem with
No, I appreciate that. It's a lot of fun, and people. I tell people, I genuinely care about you. You are like family. There is, and John and you and John get along great, and um, it's just it's
that. I can't
easy.
say it
It's
as high as Casey, or I'd say, John.
John,
I can't
John.
do it.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah, I know. It is hilarious. But it's beautiful because, like when you guys when Sid drew the cow tag and the antelope tag up there in Nevada, it was so fun to have you guys up there and to hunt and to get her tags filled, and it was just so So I just can't imagine doing these things without you, because even just when I got to meet Cole without you, I was like, I just kind of feel guilty that Chuck's not here, you know? It's just funny. I couldn't have a hunt without you there with the kids if they were doing something back then, because it didn't feel right, you know? And you have every right to enjoy those amazing moments just as much as I do. And so um it's
Well,
just
I'm
it's
glad
been
you were so tight with your dad that you understood how important for girls and dads and those kind of experiences. And when I said, yeah, I want to be a part of that, there was no hesitation. You're like, of course. So I
yeah.
appreciate that as well. And then we did a whole bunch of them after that. So, okay.
Yeah, much better,
Yeah.
lighter.
Yeah. Quart of water, two
So,
cups of coffee, and a thing of hydrogen water.
yeah, I know. I got my hydro as well. I really love this one. I have a little carrying case, but I have two. So I have one. I usually take this one to school with me, and we have a really nice water fountain there that is purified and super good water. So it's really nice to always know I'm drinking really good water
Mm-hmm.
all day long there. So, but yeah, these are great, and I saw the ones that you got, the girls, so everybody's drinking their healthy water now.
Mm-hmm. I feel a difference after I drink like 4 or 5 of those a day on a 10-minute deal. And I mean, literally for half an hour or 45 minutes after, there's a different almost clarity. There's a different
Yeah,
cleaner energy, kind of just,
yeah.
it's kind of crazy. But yeah,
It is. For
yeah.
me, it's inflammation. Like I get, especially this finger, this is my trigger finger right here.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when I'm really like, I haven't been very good as far as diet the last few days, just because I've been running. And so I feel that inflammation creeping back in my finger. But when
Hmm.
I'm very eating really well and drinking a ton of my good water, my finger doesn't stick at all, and everything feels good, and it is definitely noticeable.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So do you want to talk about like I know you mentioned your example of a father, and how do you feel that your, I don't know why you call him a role model, it's not a good word, your stepdad influenced you in ways of how a negative force can actually catapult you into being the opposite. So I always knew that you would be and were and are a good dad. So what kind of an influence do you think that had on you with that experience with him to bring you to where you are as a father today?
Well, as I look back at it now, I can see that he did the best he could. He perpetuated a cycle that he grew up in too. He was raised with
Yeah.
stepbrothers and they violently fought. And, so that's just kind of the surrounding he had. It wasn't a positive, whatever. Uh, but at the same time, now that I look back, it, my high standards that I hold myself to in my work, not as much in my housekeeping anymore as it used to be being a bachelor, but all those things that I had a high standard or certain things that really came from him. And then, going in the military probably reinforced that.
Mm,
Uh, so I took good things away from that. I just didn't know it for a long time.
yeah.
He expected perfection the first time you did something, which is unrealistic. And he
Right.
didn't know how to coach you as a kid. If I didn't do it perfect, I was in trouble,
Mm,
right? It wasn't just, okay, here's what you need to do better. You did an okay job, but here's what I expect. It wasn't like that.
right.
It had to be perfect or get your butt beat
Oh,
and do it again.
right.
But anyway, so there was a few things in my life when I was a kid with him that really kind of knocked me back because I've actually kind of always had that soft heart like Sid, and kind of just wanted to get along and have everybody be happy, and so some of the things he did kind of crushed me for
Hmm.
for a long time, but
Yeah.
still the work ethic, the high standards, all those things that 100% rooted from him. So
Okay.
even in my
Good.
high school job, I worked for a small family fast food place, and they
Yeah.
had high standards, and so I rose to that, and kind of I became his example. I taught other people how to do stuff there, and so just I'm appreciative of that stuff for sure.
Yeah.
But going through those things and then having the opportunity to go through other times in my life where I'd have great success and then subconsciously sabotage it, not
Yeah.
even knowing it, but just
Right.
somehow ruin it because I was getting too much praise. I didn't deserve that. That isn't who I am. I'm not that good. You're right. Those were the core beliefs, unfortunately. Um, but over time, I've come to understand what a lot of that is and just changed my perspective. And it's not that I think,
Mm,
oh, I'm perfect and I do all this great stuff. It's not that, but it just
right.
as a man and father, and again, I go back to raising girls, man, that totally changed. First time I was harsh with Riley and she just lost it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, I can't. I got to figure out how to communicate, and
Yeah.
that was a growth time for me for sure with both those girls, and I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for it. Sid and I went through it longer and later, but eventually we figured each other out pretty good.
Right. Right. Well, during the time that we were moving, that was a big bump in the road for both of you, between you two. That which I hated to see that. That I didn't want. I can understand you and I struggling because that was a tough time moving, and the whole thing was just difficult for everybody. But I hated it that it was affecting your guys' relationship in a negative way. And so there I remember the struggle during that time to try to get back, or get on track or back on track, or it was a bump in the road, and then the relationship had to evolve from there. So we
Mm-hmm.
all had to go through that. But now you were raised with sisters,
Mm-hmm.
so, and a mother. So do you think that that had a big positive advantage for you as well with having daughters, was the fact that you had so many women around you?
Definitely some empathy in certain regards, that
Yeah.
for what women go through compared to us. I mean, men have it pretty easy. Uh, so understanding those kind of things, the physical, the emotional, I, I maybe didn't understand the emotional stuff when I was younger, but as I matured, I understood it more, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it definitely had an impact on me, and I don't know if I can put my finger on all of it by any means,
Right. Right. But
but yeah.
the sensitivity part, I'm sure, was something that you recognize more now, being more sensitive to, like you said, the physical things and a little bit of emotional. But then you ended up being the man of the house,
Mhm.
essentially, and that had to have been hard for you to take on that role when you wanted to just, I just want to be a dude, I just want to be a kid, I just want to. And then going into the military, and tell us about that a little bit. Like, how old were
Well,
you when you joined the army?
uh, well, yeah, 18. Yeah, that's when I joined, and um, but yeah, so my mom and stepdad got divorced when I was going into ninth grade, and that year was a little bit tougher, but at the same time, that work ethic that he instilled in me, I was prepared to do anything that they didn't get back together. No way, shape, or form. So
Ah, Okay, so you
So
just filled that gap.
yeah,
Okay, you don't have to have that. I'm here. You
yeah,
don't need him.
yeah. I
Yeah.
worked full time through high school, bought all my own stuff, uh, helped my mom pay some of the bills. My older sister was kind of doing her own thing at that point. She was into herself, so she was kind of moving on.
Yeah.
Michelle was still too young to do anything, so I had, I didn't even look at it as it wasn't even a challenge. It was just,
Mhm.
yeah, no problem. I can do this.
Just
Yeah,
step into it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
And
says a lot about your character, you know?
well, it, and I correlate a lot of my success in other areas to that too, that because I stepped up and filled that role and quit being just a kid, you know, my mom regrets it. And I'm like, it's absolutely fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I still had a lot of growing to do, but it made me prepared to step into the world and stand on my own 2 feet. And in the
Yep.
end, that's all any parent can expect of their kids and hope for their kids is that they can
Right.
stand on their own and take care of it. And we're still
Yeah.
here to help, but we don't need to do it for you, and both
Right.
of our girls have done that. They totally, and I respect that and I love it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's about the only time I'll say, hey, pat yourself on the back, and I'll pat myself on
Oh.
the back because they have to do it, but if you don't instill it in them, they won't do it.
Right.
So, but, um, so yeah, then, yeah, I joined the military. I remember the day I signed up, I came home and told my mom. She started boobing, and I said, look, I'm doing this as much for you as I am for me. I said,
Mhm.
you got to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet and take care of yourself. And she did. I mean, she's never had an exorbitant lifestyle by any means, but she
Right.
took care of stuff. So I commend her for that because she was kind of a mess after the divorce.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, went in the military, did my basic and advanced training in Kentucky, went to Texas for about a year, went to Germany for a little over 2 years, and I had a great short career. I had a great experience. I
Mm.
bartended while I was in Germany, and that was a whole nother world. So I got to experience a
Yeah.
lot of fun stuff.
I
But
bet.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Germany was
bet.
a good time. But yeah, I didn't want to be a combat tanker my whole life, and I didn't really find a job that I was passionate about, so I got out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and so here's a funny little side note. And this isn't, really having to do with us as parents or our children, but you're talking about the Army. And just a little story that I'm going to talk about. Um, you're gone one day at the house. I get a phone call. This guy with this really deep voice, Tiffany. And I said, yeah. Is Chuck there? No, he's actually Seattle or wherever you were at the time, working. Who is this? Well, my name is Todd Hibbs. You don't know me, but I'm Chuck's brother. And I go, what? Chuck doesn't have a brother.
Am I on
What?
candid camera?
Am I being punked?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck doesn't have a brother. And me and I'm Curiosity's my middle name. So I go, what is going on? And he goes, well, this is kind of a big deal. Do you have a minute? And I'm like, well, yeah, you have to tell me now, So he goes on to tell me that he is your half brother. He was given up for adoption, da 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 da. And he's laying this all on me. And I'm like, what the hell? This is awesome. I'm going, dude. So yeah, this is great. More family's great. So then next thing you know, I'm not sure how did I tell you or did he call you and tell you? Because I can't
So
remember.
at that time, I was still at the auction, and he
Okay.
called me at work
Okay.
after he had talked to my mom, and I don't know, he must have
Oh,
talked to you
okay.
already too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I couldn't remember if you were
yeah,
gone or if you were working, like as
I was
in,
working, yeah.
yeah, okay. So
And then shortly
okay.
after, when I started traveling, and they were stationed near Seattle, so I'd go see him once in a while. And him and I are still tight. I mean,
Oh,
we
well, do you remember the first time that we met? We took the crew and
went to Pendleton.
went Pendleton. Yeah, we met at
Yep,
Pendleton,
yep,
and his daughter Jenna and Riley are really close in age, and they
yep,
were so damn cute. And
yep,
I took one look at him, and I was like, Jesus, he looks just like your mother.
yep,
Till to this day, when we saw him, this last summer, it was like I still, years later, I still cannot get over how much he looks like your mom. And
yeah,
what a stud. What a freaking stud this man is. Six
yeah.
foot,
He's
what? 6'6"?
4, 6, 5.
Six
He's
five.
freaking. I know. I look up
He's
at him. That's
he's a yeah, he's a
yeah.
beast. Crazy blue eyes, long hair now, but he retired in E7 in the
Oh
army.
no, no, no. He was a
Or
command
what?
sergeant major. He was as high as you could go. He
Okay,
was an
okay, I
E9.
couldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
He had a hell of
okay.
a career. Hell of a
Yeah,
career.
very,
Yeah. Went to
very,
Iraq 3 times. Yeah,
yeah, but just a stud.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
a good dude.
he's a good
Yeah.
dude. And what a gift, right? What a blessing
Hmm.
that came around, and that you got your brother, you got this relationship with this badass dude, and he and his a group of guys that I don't remember what their story is, but they for charity
Hmm.
went I don't know how many thousands of miles on adventure bikes and road bikes.
Almost 10.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
4,000 to here, right? Something like that just to here.
Uh,
I
40, 4,500 or something, because they went from
Yeah,
southern U.S. up the coast kind of, and then into Idaho, and then they went all the way across the northern U.S. and they were stopping and seeing families along the way, and called the Miracle Riders.
people, money and gifts and all that all along the way. It was just so cool. But we got to, all of us were together, and we got to stop and see him, and Silas got to see him. I got the cutest pictures of him holding Silas, and now he's a grandpa, and
Yep, yep.
it's just such a beautiful thing how that came to be. So you've got a brother. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. More families good. Look at all the stuff that's going to open up because of that. And it's awesome for you and the girls with their Uncle Todd and Aunt Kim and
Yeah, so I'm glad that he and I, even though he lives across the country, we still are pretty tight, and he's
yeah.
finally decided to completely retire, and I'm getting close, so I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
having some adventures with him too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Um, he loves their family, and so does Kim. I mean, so, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad they get to experience the grandbaby thing too.
yeah, yeah,
It's
they're in
like,
heaven.
oh man, yeah, it's beautiful. So let's we haven't talked about much about John. So my man John, out of the people in my life, I think accepting you was the hardest for him, because in his mind, because of his experience with his ex and how hateful, awful it is, which is so sad and unnecessary, because of look at us, it's to me it's I just can't relate, like get over it, I mean,
Mhm,
move on. It's
mhm,
the kids are the ones that suffer, and
mhm,
get along. So I think it was hardest for him to think, well, why is Chuck have to be around, or why this? And so for a long time in the beginning, I was like, listen,
mhm.
this is the way it is.
Yeah,
It is. If Chuck and I wanted to be together, we would still be together. What's the problem? I mean, I would love it if you and your ex were buddies and chummy, and I would love it if her and I could get along. It would be great.
well, drama, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean and the kids would feel so good and secure and happy and blah blah blah. So it was just funny. And now when I get to see, when we do get together, when we were up hunting or just hanging out, it's just so nice to see that, because God, he and I are going on 10 years next month, and it's
Wow.
yeah, I know. It's crazy. So, but when we plan for things, like when we all went on vacation to the Oregon coast a couple years ago, and it's like, okay, let's try to do Alaska, or let's go up to Wild Horse and go razor riding this spring, summer, whatever. All these things. It's such a nice, beautiful thing to think. we can all do that and look forward to it for one, and
Hmm.
truly enjoy it, you know. So um I look
Well, John
forward
makes
to
it fun. There's never a dull moment with that guy. There's always something going on.
Oh God. Well, and he's everybody knows he's a fart in a skillet, and it's a bummer that when we do get him, it's not long enough, you know.
Right,
It's
right.
always like I'm going here, going there, stop here, go there. The poor guy is getting just ripped in 10 different directions, and but the best thing about spending time with him, the I should say the best time is everybody go up to Wild Horse, because
Yeah, yeah,
then that's he is going nowhere, and he loves
right.
being the tour guide and the hunting guide, and he
Oh
just
yeah.
loves, you know, the snowmobile guide or whatever it is. He just loves doing that. So but I love that you and he genuinely have a good relationship. It's important to me, of course, and if, you know, of course the kids too. And
Mhm.
I appreciate you always being willing to do what it takes. It's a win-win for everybody, and being able to be that guy that's humble enough and secure enough in what our goal is with the kids, to just get along, because it's a good thing for everybody when that happens. And it's so sad when other people, and we've all seen it, where people are in turmoil, and their own selfish feelings and hurt and pride and shame and whatever they're feeling is what drives them to be a pain in the ass. And I'm just grateful, so I just want to thank you.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but us men and our fragile little egos, you got to be pretty cognizant of that, especially me coming into somebody else's territory, quote unquote. So
Right.
I've never ever wanted there to be any kind of ill will. I never had an ulterior motive. I always wanted whoever you were with to understand that hey, I'm here for these two, and if we
Yeah.
get along, that's better. And so yeah, I genuinely really like John. I really like having him part of the family. The
Yeah.
girls love him. He loves them.
Yeah.
And that's important, the guy that you're
Definitely.
around that cares about my daughters too. And
Yeah.
so that's a big deal. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know, Mike had his pros and cons. Kyle had his pros and cons, but I know John's a little Basco, so he can get a little up in arms pretty quick over certain things. But him and I've never had an issue like that.
Right.
And after time, he saw that, okay, this guy's not trying to piss on my territory.
Yeah.
You know, it's he's truly here because of his daughters.
Right.
And so we've been able to. I would call us friends. I think
Oh,
John and I could go
definitely.
do something, and
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
it. So yeah,
Definitely.
I like having him around. He's a good addition for sure.
Yes, he is. I look forward to when we do our next adventure, you know, whether it's up there at Wild Horse and going fishing and razor riding and all of that. I'm looking forward to when we can all do that, because now we've got little man, you know, to
Hmm.
expose to that, and we've got the really nice side by side that he could ride in, that would keep him out of the elements. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's and we got enough for everybody now, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
holy cow. But yeah, I look forward to that, and I just genuinely appreciate you. I genuinely love you, and I'm just so grateful that you are that amazing male example for the girls, because it's a tough act to follow, because I got that same thing with my dad, where I wanted a guy that fit these parameters and these things, and yet be stronger, because in his case his heart is way too soft,
Hmm.
and he doesn't know how to stand up and have boundaries and say kiss my ass. He just
Hmm.
doesn't. But I have enough of that in me that it would compensate, you know. But
Right.
I wanted that guy that fit a lot of the bill, and it's tough. So it's a compliment though. What a great thing.
Oh, I humbly thank God every day that I've got such a good relationship with him. I don't pat myself on the back at all. I feel so grateful. And
Yeah.
for Sid, like through the shit guys she's been through in the last few years, and to tell me she has a checklist and most of it is a reflection of how I am as a dad. And I'm like, well, good. And she said I set the standard high, and I'm like, well, cool. That's even better. I hoped
Yeah.
I did, but you never know for sure how it's, because I've done plenty of dumb shit and I've said plenty of dumb stuff, and I still make mistakes. I'm just human, but they accept
Right.
that. They
Oh yeah.
understand that, and I hardly ever lose my patience or lose my. Thank God, as I've gotten older, I can be, except for at retail car lot. I'm kind of over people. So many stupid people out there.
Oh boy, it's an
Yeah,
epidemic now, that's for
yeah.
sure.
But I'm grateful for that. For my girls, especially my grandson, my son-in-law, my
Mm.
potential new
Uh-huh.
son-in-law,
Yeah, yeah,
and the extended family, you and John, and when his family's around too, and
yeah,
I hope someday that my sister can mend things with Riley and understand that it's really on her, that
yeah,
she needs to do that if she wants to be part of it. I
yeah,
still have a relationship with them, but it's just me and them, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But that's tough to see. But at the same time, Riley, like we talked about, she's there to protect her family. So
Absolutely. Well, and
she's
you mentioned the victim mentality. You just can't live in that and have people respect you. It's like,
yeah,
okay, you're 50 what years old and you're still, yeah, no, it's okay.
yeah,
And I love that the girls have firm boundaries. Boundaries are something that I swear I started instilling in them back in the day when school started to get tough. Girls bullshit, just like,
yeah,
yeah, you don't have to take that, you
yeah,
don't have to it's just walk away, absolutely not. And I'm glad that they have learned that it's good to have healthy boundaries,
yeah,
whether it's, as you know, for me, whether it's family or whatever, it doesn't matter. If you don't want that person to have a negative influence or suck your energy, then you just plant a boundary and you
yeah,
protect yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. So I
no,
appreciate that. And I do hope for you, like you said, healing is good. I've got shit in
yeah,
my family, but at the same time, it's everything that's good is good. And the other is like, yeah, whatever happens happens, but this is good, and
yeah,
that's where you want to
yeah,
be, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I love
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, for all the crap we went through and the rocky roads and you said it best, life isn't all unicorns and rainbows, but you get through the tough times and hopefully you grow and you can move past that. And I feel like
Absolutely.
as adults, we both learned how to do that and just focus on just keeping our family as tight and as close as possible because that's what really matters. In the end, it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter what you have or where you live or any of that. If you don't have that family, that core, that love, who cares? The rest of the
Exactly.
stuff is just fluff. So,
Yep. No, that's a perfect way to end this. Fluff. It's just
yeah,
fluff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Try not to cuss as much as normal.
Oh, yeah, whatever, yeah. And you know what, this is a safe platform. I throw out a few F-bombs every now and then, but I'm not as bad as I was just because, I'm deepening my faith and I'm really, constantly growing, as a person, and,
Good.
I do have a potty mouth, but you know what? It God knows my heart, and that's the way I see things.
During the day, dropping F bombs about something stupid that's happened. I'm like, sorry, God. I
Yeah.
didn't mean that. Just,
Yep, I usually go like this and go, "Sorry." Yeah, because I'm like, and I do it literally, I did it a couple days ago, I was with my friend Chris, and I said something, I go, "Sorry," and then I move on, but it's my personal moment of, "Okay,
mm-hmm,
we're good." He's
mm-hmm,
like, I get
mm-hmm.
instant feedback, "You're forgiven."
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, alright, Chuckles, well, thank you. And we're going to see each other here shortly anyway. We're going to all
yeah,
get together and go to the RV show. So I'm so
yeah,
excited. We're going to have another family moment. And
yep.
but I appreciate this. This has been months in the making. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this.
Yeah, of course. I hope if nothing about it, that maybe somebody will listen and gain something from it. I don't know. Like I
Absolutely.
said,
Absolutely.
everybody's got to figure their own stuff out. Everybody's
They
different. So
Oh, I know, I know. It's all about, I believe it's all based in pride, honestly. I
ego,
mean,
yeah.
resentment, ego, pride, that it's really hard for some people to just put that aside. If you're struggling with that, I think that you need to take a hard look at what's going on inside,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, our children, I can't imagine what they would be like if you and I were like other people that we know. And just I mean, just think of the things we would have missed out on with
Hmm.
each other, meaning with each other, with our children. I can't imagine. It's just not, it's not fun to think about. It hurts my heart to think about all the things that you or I would have missed out on if we were like this. It just doesn't compute for me at all. So and then what it would do to the kids, it's just not okay. So yeah, lesson in that is put your shit aside, swallow your pride, just let things go. You don't have to forgive and be buddies. You just have to just put it aside
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Don't
focus
dwell
on
on it.
those.
Don't live in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anger
exactly.
just
It's
eats
yeah.
you all. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, right? It's like a cancer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. All right. I will see you in a couple hours or so.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
thank you, Chuck. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.